My name is Laz Perez. In October of 2017, I became part of the City of North Chicago family. A day or two later, I met this petite, blonde-hair employee who introduced herself to me as Dana. Dana proceeded to tell me about her passion for animals. At the same time, she was sizing me up. To say the least, I felt intimidated, and at the same time, I felt compelled to tell Dana that I was actually the parent of two rescued dogs. Initially, she told me she didn't know whether or not she was going to like me. And ultimately, she said, well, I think you're going to be okay. Soon thereafter, I was told by my boss at the time, Chief Richard Wilson, known to us in the community as Dickie, that Dana would be reporting directly to me. Over the past year and a half or so, our relationship grew, and Dana and I became good friends. Dana could tell when I was having a bad day, and she would come into my office and impart some of her wisdom. During those conversations, Dana would educate me on the facts of life and throw in the you-alls until she would get a smile out of me. You see, Dana had a passion not just for animals, but also for life. And her number one goal was to make those around her happy. Let me reflect on Dana's passion, or what some of us called a crusade. Dana had a real passion for animals and a passion for life as well. Here are a few examples that reflect that true passion. While she was battling stage 4 cancer, Dana actually called me one day and said that she was going to go to Texas. You see, they had a hurricane, and she needed to take some vacation time to go out there and help out animals. We ended up sending Dana on the city's time. There she orchestrated the rescue of several animals. And while she was there, she actually called me to tell me that her medication was missing. So she actually went without chemo for several days, just trying to rescue animals out there. During the same time, she orchestrated several clinics for pets belonging to North Chicago residents, where those pets got vaccines and they were spayed and neutered. As her illness progressed, she required more frequent hospital stays. She would let me know what was happening, of course. She would put in that positive spin. Some of the things that I learned about Dana's illnesses I did not learn until after her passing, and I learned them from her sister, well, I guess now my sister, Julie. And at the end of every conversation that I had with Dana when she was going into the hospital, she would always reassure me that she'd be back in a day or two. This time, before being admitted to the hospital, I actually saw Dana walking in the hallway, and I see Dana actually holding onto the walls of the police department hallway as she's making her way down the hallway because she could not walk straight. I asked her what was going on, and she told me that she was having a minor procedure on her neck. And before we departed our conversation, she told me again, you know, Chief, don't worry about it. I'll be back in a couple of weeks. Before she went into the hospital, I asked her if I could visit her while she was in recovery. After giving me some of her attitude, and I think all of you guys know about her attitude, Dana replied, of course, I'll put you and Alex down as my brothers. That way you guys won't have to sneak your way into my room. I know how you guys are. It was during this particular visit that Alex and I were introduced to several other sisters. And a week or so later, we were actually introduced to another dad who's sitting here up front today. In all seriousness, though, what I'm going to miss most about Dana is, well, Dana. With her y'alls, big smile, and genuinely caring for others. I'm going to miss all of that and much more. Though her body is currently gone, her spirit of service lives on in every person and in every animal whose life she ever touched. I thank you, Dana, for your work and the love you showed your brothers and sisters at the City of North Chicago and the North Chicago Police Department. In Matthew 5:8, the Lord says, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God." There are very few of those with a heart who's as pure as Dana's. Godspeed, my sister, till we meet on the other side. Thank you.
So if Dana's watching us right now, which I believe she is, I think she would kind of get a kick out of this. If you don't mind, if you have a pet currently or have had a pet in the past or have been on a rescue, all of that has anything to do with Dana or Dana connected with it, could you just raise your hand, please? And look around, everybody. Look around. Pretty amazing, the influence she had just right here in this room. Now, if you have a pet currently because of Dana and would like a word with Dana about that, could you raise your hand? Oh, see? She knows who to go to. I think, between this here and just looking on social media and all the tributes that we're seeing, Dana just touched so many people and saved so many lives. We're just kind of seeing the beginning of this. I had met Dana when she first came to Illinois from the great state of Texas in 2005. And she was a new volunteer at a shelter where I was at. And she was out sitting on a hill in the grass. She had her camera in one hand, and she was sitting next to a little Cairn Terrier named Richie at the time, now named Al. And this dog happened to be very sassy in return for biting, so Dana's perfect dog. And that dog actually happened to be a dog that I rescued on a humane investigation of mine. So leave it to this dog to bring me, who was a veteran volunteer there, and this brand new volunteer together, which was the start of a 13-year friendship. And our instant bond, as I said, turned into 13 years, and it would take us through a lot of great times and a lot of challenging times as well. And over the years, she would always threaten to move back to Texas, but all of us did and said whatever we could to keep her here. And lucky for us, she stayed. And Dana and I were very different. I'm the overthinker and the overplanner. And when I would be busy overthinking and overplanning, Dana had already gotten in her truck, drove to rescue the animals in need, rescued them, and was home in time for her Diet Coke and chocolate chip cookie dinner. And while our different personalities complemented each other really well in our friendship, I have always wished and will continue working on being more like Dana. I recently told Dana that if the purpose of our time here is to find and live your passion and leave the world better than you found it, then she has lived 10 lifetimes. Dana was blunt because she was honest. Dana was bossy because she wanted to be things just right for the people and the animals she loved. Dana was stubborn because she was so strong in her convictions. Dana was a fearless badass, well, because she just was. But most importantly, Dana had a heart of gold, and every single thing she did was 100% genuine. And I think that's the quality I loved most about her. Most of you know Dana as an animal rescuer, but some other things you may not know about her is that she was a national champion powerlifter, competed in several world championships in countries such as Canada, Slovakia, and India. She was a firefighter, an EMT, a personal trainer, a triathlete, and a photographer whose pictures would allow you to feel an animal's soul. She also loved to go to the movies and settle in with her popcorn and Slurpee, and her secret loves were Tommy Lee Jones and watching The Real Housewives on Bravo. Many of you said you didn't even know that Dana was not well and were very surprised by her passing. She did not want people to know. She didn't want to be treated any differently, And most importantly, she didn't want it to distract her from saving animals every day. And she continued to do just that through the 2.5 years of her cancer battle. She'd receive chemo treatments and be back at work the same day. She continued saving animals even from her hospital bed up until the day before she passed. We're all pretty speechless about that level of dedication. Dana is truly larger than life, and we all know she is on to bigger and better things now. She's probably in heaven right now, bossing God around, telling him things like he could have stopped inventing dog breeds after he made the beagle. Every single day, I will miss Dana's hays, her all y'alls, and her hilarious, incomprehensible voice to texts. But we all have seen them. But Dana's spirit will live on in all of us as we can follow her example and make her proud by never hesitating to jump in and help where we are needed. Dana, all of your goobers here love you, and we thank you for the gift of you for the last 56 years. You were proof that one feisty little Texan can change the world.
Hello. First of all, I have to say, Dana always loved a man in uniform, so this is just great to look out. So thank you, Dana, for that. On behalf of myself, my mom, and our family, we just want to thank each of you for being here today. The support system in this room is so powerful and speaks to Dana's character and the type of person that she was. This is like right in my head. I could stand up here and talk about Dana all day long. A, because I love attention, and B, there are that many things to say about her. During this speech, if I refer to her as Dana Poo Poo, that was my nickname for her. I can't tell you how I gave that to her, probably because she can be a poop head sometimes. And she called me Goober Bear because I am obsessed with the Haribo Gold gummy bears, which you probably saw out there. Thanks. Thank you. That's perfect. There. Okay, thank you so much. When I was growing up, Dana Poo Poo was a personal trainer. I would get out of school and go hang out with her at the gym when she trained her clients, and I was so proud that she was my aunt. I couldn't figure out how such a small person was so strong. She would do fitness competitions. She went back to college in her 30s to study nutrition, competed in triathlons, but for such a healthy, athletic person, she loved her sweets. Anything with chocolate on it, anything sweet, and Diet Coke. She was blessed with the good genetics. One of my favorite things about Dana is her fearlessness. 99.9% of the time someone encounters a dangerous situation, they run the other way. Dana would literally run towards dangerous situations. In my middle school years, my mom and I lived with Dana in a duplex house. And we were all just hanging out in our respective parts of the house one day, and Dana comes in our side and she's like, "My car just got stolen out of the driveway." And before we could even pick up the phone to call the cops, she had her gun and jumped in one of the other cars and went and chased the guy and got him and stopped him before the end of the street. And I was like, damn, you are scary. I think that actually made me cooler as a kid with my guy friends, because, you know, I'd be like, yeah, my aunt sleeps with a gun under her pillow. She's a firefighter, like, want to try on her outfit, or, you know, she can outlift you. She basically was, like, just the best aunt to have and show off. We were at the movies one time, and this guy started choking on a hot dog in front of, it's not funny, but he was choking on a hot dog in the concession stand, and everyone's just like, oh my God, what do I do? And Dana's like, threw her snacks and just starts like giving the guy the Heimlich, and hot dog pops out of his mouth, and we're like, oh, and we just go and see a movie and keep going on with our lives. It's crazy. I had the best childhood growing up. Dana never had children, obviously, and my parents got divorced when I was a baby. And so I consider myself very lucky because I basically had 2 moms growing up together. The 3 of us did everything possible together. I've been going through a lot of her photos recently in the past couple of days, and I barely remember all of the things that we've done, and she has them beautifully documented. Even my awkward preteen years that I thought I had destroyed all of the evidence, she has them, so I threw those away. Don't need those. I don't think she ever missed a sporting event of mine. We did the rodeo, Renaissance Festival, we did a bike ride to Austin together, church mission trips, graduations, hers and mine, a couple of weddings, but just her, not me. You name it, we did it. And you could say we were frickin' frack. We loved getting in trouble together. I had her back and she always had mine. One of our favorite activities was to piss my mom off because it was so easy. I didn't even realize until 48 hours ago, Dana never told my mom about a time when I was well under the legal driving age, and we were at a doctor's appointment, and she was like, yeah, you can go back my car up out of this spot. And I was like, great, this is great. She didn't even get in the car with me. She trusted me like an idiot that I could do this at like 13 or 14. So I'm backing out of the spot. I think I've got it, and I don't hear like the crunching of the car next to me that I'm going into. And I just see Dana running up. She's like, stop, stop. And I'm like, what? And she, pulled me out of the car and left a note, and I guess she paid for it, didn't tell my mom, so thank you for that, Dana. She never missed a phone call. She always let me call her to vent, sometimes, probably most of the time, about my mom. And she was my best friend, and she always will be. One time, my mom had surgery and wasn't able to move around a lot. She was all drugged up. It was great. And Dana flew in to help take care of her. And she was driving my mom's car running errands and naturally picked up a stray dog. And that stray dog decided to tear up the passenger seat. And her and I did everything possible to cover it up. She was on drugs. She didn't really know what was going on, and we put towels over it, and we were like, oh, yeah, we got to get it cleaned. And she never looked under and saw she was sitting in a hole. Until the day that we were taking her to the airport, and she's like, oh yeah, by the way, this happened, and I'll see you later, I'll pay for it. I was like, thanks, man, you left me with that. I didn't realize how much of Dana is instilled in me until my recent reflection. I'm proud to say I get my IDGAF attitude from her. And for those of you who don't know what that stands for, it's I don't give a F. And if you know Dana, you know she really did not give an F. She was going to do what she was going to do, and no one was going to stop her. My mom would get so pissed and grossed out because Dana liked to take her shoes off in restaurants. And I thought it was so funny, and I think she mostly did it because of the reaction she was getting from my mom, but it was hilarious. For those of you who are friends with her on Facebook, and I'm sure everyone is, yikes. If you've hidden her from your feed, I have done that before. I'd be in the car with her, and she'd be saying, this bleep woman wrote on my Facebook wall, bleep, bleep, bleep. And I'd be like, Dana, like, unfriend her, delete the comment. And she was writing death threats back, like, immediately. And I was like, oh, my God. Oh, I'm so glad you like me. So, yeah, she did not care. Dana was the strongest person that I've ever known, physically and mentally. She was a beast in life, and she never did anything subpar. Everything she did was so kick-ass. We can all learn from her, minus the Facebook fighting. She loved hard and fought hard. And Dana and I had an unspoken agreement to never talk about the cancer in full detail. She never wanted to be weak in front of me, and I didn't really want to see it. Every phone call and every interaction, she just put on her best smile and sold to me that she was all right. Then she'd ask me about my life, and I'd, tell her my BS. In my last full-on conversation with her last week, I called her after work one day, and the first thing she said to me was, "You sound tired. You need to make sure and take it easy." Coming from a woman that was on her hospital bed fighting for her life, who never took a day off, or I don't think she slept. And I thought to myself, like, no, I'm not going to take it easy. Like, I want to be a fighter like you. Like, you need to take it easy. And I'll do the heavy lifting now. And when you leave here today, just like I will, and when things get hard, and seem impossible and you don't know what to do, think about Dana and think, what would Dana do? And you go out and kick the day's ass. Thank you.
Dana would think that all y'all are a bunch of goobers getting dressed up like this and coming out here today. But I'll just bet she'd be honored, so thank you. I'd always thought that getting the last word in with Dana would be so cool one day. I assure you now that it is not. Look, we all seek purpose in life. Don't let Dana's passing and the work that she has accomplished thus far come to an end. Come together, continue on, and choose to make it a new beginning in Dana's honor. Be determined, be fearless, and lead with passion and all of your might. Let her impact be larger in death than it even was in this life. Dana, I promised you on the night that you were first diagnosed that I would always have your back. Please, in moving forward, guide us all and have our backs. And on this day only, and in celebration of you, my dear friend, my last words, go Packers, or no, go Vikings, that's what I meant, that's what I meant.
Well, I have no idea how, when, or where I met Dana. She just slid into our lives. Dana was the epitome of no kill. When she called me to say she had been hired by North Chicago, she said there would be no more killing. This legacy needs to be carried on. Dana was a true die-hard beagle lover, especially those damn senior beagles. It just broke her heart to see a senior beagle in a shelter. She would Facebook tag the heck out of all of us to get them out. And wouldn't you know, those senior beagles were saved because of her efforts. Dana was also the official photographer at Beagle Fest and the Bender Beagle Bashes. She would post on Flickr and on her Facebook page so we could all share those wonderful memories of those events. Thank you, Dana. And gee, she was a Minnesota Viking fan. There's nothing else to say about that but go Vikings! Even though she was an animal welfare advocate, she embraced the human-animal bond by helping others with their lost dogs. She would call me and she'd say, "I can't do this anymore, and I won't do it again." Well, we know different. She did it again and again. She made families whole. Dana also believed in providing free pet health services to the economically challenged residents of Lake County. Those clinics reached approximately 900 dogs. At one clinic, the temperatures reached over 100 degrees, and I think many of us were there helping. Dana could hardly stand up, but darn it, those dogs were going to have water in the pools so they could be cool. For the last 2.5 years, Dana and my husband forged a unique bond in their battle of cancer. Many of our conversations started out, how is Bill and what is going on? Even the last time we spoke, which was last Sunday night, she called to say, Susan, I have no oxygen left in my lungs. But yet, Dana was able to ask about Bill. Out of all my Humaniac friends, Bill loved you best. Dana, thank you for being you and our friend.
I decided to write this on popcorn paper because I know Dana has a sense of humor and loved popcorn. Not because I just found out I was going to be doing this, but I'm honored to be up here. My sister Dana was a fierce warrior. I was blessed to be able to spend a couple weeks with her near the end, and I watched her take every new physical limitation and use it to strengthen her resolve and fight harder. I worked as an ICU nurse for many years, and I have not seen anyone face their mortality with as much grace, strength, or hope as Dana did. She led her life like this. Dana did great things. She had a huge impact on a lot of people while she was here on this earth, as well as on many voiceless, countless animals' lives. Dana didn't do that alone, though. She had a village. She had all of you. She had her friends. She had her family. She had the North Chicago Police Department. She had volunteers, fosters, and rescues. In the last couple of years, she also had healthcare workers and her amazing doctors that have also become part of her village. Dana had a vision and a dream for what could be, and all of you helped her make that happen. And please, don't let her vision and her dreams die. I am grateful for all of you being a part of her life, and I'm grateful that she was in my life. May the peace of the Lord be with all of you.
I can picture it perfectly, your arrival at Heaven's Rainbow Bridge. Hundreds upon hundreds of dogs, stoically seated, tails wagging, ears diligently perked as you made your way to them, greeting them one by one with your hands on each side of their face and your gentle kiss on their head. Each would part to the side, allowing the next to come forward. As you neared the end, you saw that face. The one you waited the past 8 years to hold and kiss again, just one more time. He purposely positioned himself on the backside of the bridge to allow the others you've loved and rescued to greet you first, because that was just him, a selfless old soul, Ralphie. In September 2005, when we rescued him from Hurricane Katrina, you were given your life's new purpose, rescue. Katrina changed you. It changed us both. When we left the Gulf Coast after our first trip, we realized the overwhelming need for trained disaster response. So we together established OBA. 4 days shy of 12 years after Katrina, Hurricane Harvey hit Texas, home. I'll never forget that first call with you. You were worried sick about Julie and how you'd be able to get off work, but assured me that somehow, some way, you were coming. Chief, thank you. We both knew this could be your last deployment. You warned me of your limitations and asked me to watch over you, which I did. But it didn't stop you. We saved countless cats and dogs, a goat, I'm sure you've seen on Facebook, a pet duck, 52 head of cattle, and many, many more. Animal Planet featured our rescue on their Hurricane Harvey documentary, and OBA received its 501 status. It was always your dream to be the warriors of animal search and rescue, and we will be. Losing you is one of the hardest things. I've ever experienced, but rest assured, we've got your six, Dana.
Hi, my name is Debbie, and I've known Dana for about 25 years. Had a lot of activities together with Sydney and Julie and my kids, and through the years I saw Julie and Dana do a lot of laughing and a lot of fighting, as sisters will commonly do, but there was an unmistakable bond between the two of them, and of course she just passionately adored Sid. The thing that I most remember about Dana was her kindness. We both went to Chapelwood Methodist Church, and we volunteered together at a facility called the Covenant House. And the Covenant House was a place where homeless teens and young adults could live for a while, but it was also a place where they could stop in and take a shower and have a meal, spend the night. And Dana volunteered there, and she had such a soft heart for these kids. These were kids that were lost and just needed some attention and somebody to care about them, and Dana was there. As you've heard, she was a personal trainer, and I was one of her clients for a while. And yes, Dana could be very hard and very pushing and very tough, but she was never like that with me. She was always just kind and encouraging, and she, believed in me, and she had this like ridiculous body of all these muscles, and I just thought, oh, if I could ever look like that. But I think she knew that if she was ever really harsh with me, I'd probably start crying. But she was just amazing, and she would always ask me about one of my daughters who at the time was really struggling with life, and she would always just want to know how she is and would give me advice and her input on stuff. And, it doesn't surprise me that so many people have turned out here, and she's had such a huge impact on this city, knowing the Dana that I knew and that I loved. And I just know right now she's up in heaven with all these wonderful dogs. And by the way, Dana, if you see my dog who passed over about a month ago, I know he'll be so happy to see you. We love you. We're going to miss you, but you will never, ever be forgotten.
Well, I hope everybody know I'm the goober, so if you didn't know, or if you have seen my lovely face on all of Dana's Facebook page with me taking selfies, I'm the man. I guarantee she's up there right now shaking her head and saying, "You're such a goober." I'm glad everybody was able to come out here and celebrate her life, because she just was a wonderful person. Everybody had good speeches. It's like I'm kind of like piggybacking on some of this stuff, but I got the pleasure of knowing Dana back in 2012 when she first came on with us, and like the chief over here, I was intimidated. Oh, sorry, chief, I knew her a lot longer also. But anyway, I was intimidated by her, yeah. Me, 6'4", looking down at her, and she was very intimidating, but then I realized she had a great passion for animals. We clicked right away. We clicked from that point on. I was like Dana's brother from another mother. She definitely was my sister, and when I say we were like brother and sisters, I used to terrorize her. My memories, I got so many stories I could tell. I'd be here all night, and that's what we're here for, so I could share some of them. When Dana used to sit at the front desk doing a report, she refused to wear her glasses. I don't know why. So she'll be at the front desk typing a report out, and she's squinting at the screen. And I'm just sitting there like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I'm writing a dog bite report." I said, "Where are your glasses?" "Oh, they're in the truck." I said, "What? Goober." So while she's sitting there, her hair is usually up in a bun in the back. I have a thing, every time I come in, I I have to stand by her, and I wiggle her back over here. And she'd be like, stop it, just stop it. But she'd be laughing. Then while I'm standing there and she's doing a report, I'll sit there and take her phone because she always leaves her phone sitting there. So I'll be like this, oh, okay, you know, just sitting there, and I grab the phone. As she's typing away, I'm here taking selfies, you know. Then she'll get up and go to her car because she has to go on a call. And I'll walk outside and stand there with her phone in hand. And she's sitting in the truck and looking around, like doing this, like, where's my phone? And that whole time I'm like this. She looks up, she shakes her head, and she gives me her 2 number 1 fingers. That's Dana. That's Dana for you. 4 years ago, when she became sick, she, like you heard, she's very private. But didn't want everybody to feel pity or feel sorrow for her. I was one of the officers she came up and told about her illness. First thing, she was kind of like came up to me and said, hey, I got to tell you something. I thought she was leaving our department. I said, you're not going nowhere. And, you know, she's like, no. She's like, I'm really sick. I'm like, what do you mean? And she told me what she had. And I literally, when she said it, it felt like the world just froze for 1 second. Once she told me that, I just grabbed her and gave her a big hug. And I said, what do you need me to do? That's what brother does, you know. She's like, I'm going to be fine. See, she changed subject. So about this animal thing, I'm thinking, oh, you just told me something, a life-changing event, and you're going to tell me about animals. That's how Dana was. But from that day forward, I made sure to keep an eye on her. If she go to calls, I was right there. I wasn't going to harbor over her, but I wanted to keep eyes on her. I noticed a change. I even asked her, you okay? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. So I turn around, look around, like, it's just me and you here. I'm a little tired. Well, take yourself a rest. You know she don't like to rest. Relax. But I got to get this done. I got that. What do you need me to do? I made sure to keep eye on her. Even when she started walking funny, I'm saying, what's wrong? What do you mean? I see you walking. You saw that? Yeah. Goober, who do you think this is? I'm very observant. I ain't been a police officer for nothing, you know. And she's like, oh, I'll be fine. Yeah, that's her thing. You'll be fine. But she knew that we all had this love for her. And the weeks, it's so much I got, like I said, going to have memorized memories and stories of her. But I got to tell this one story. I don't know if she told y'all this one. When Dana, I kept talking about, Dana, why don't you go out on a date? Do something outside this workplace. She's like, I don't have time for that either. I said, you do. So I don't know if she said this, but I was trying to, I messed in her mind for real. I said, one day, she's at the front desk. I got behind her, and I started saying, okay, name Dana K. Maddox Deutsch. I love long walks on the beach. I love it. So she stopped and looked up and said, what are you doing? Oh, I'm on Match.com right now. She turned around, jumped up, and look, I'm like, choking. But it just kept her spirit going. That's one thing about Dana. She was strong. When I found out she used to be a power lifter, I looked down at her and said, really? She thought I didn't believe her. I did. But she had to break out pictures and show me I could do that. I said, you could probably bench press me. I don't know. Hey, I was joking. One thing she was all overly excited about was her new house she got out in Waukegan. Oh, man, she was just ecstatic about that. Oh, she's just like, I got this house. And she kept talking about it. I said, let me know when you need help. We're moving in. Okay. You know. But she just kept talking about this freaking house. I'm like, what is this a mansion or what, you know? But it was a mansion for her. When I found out she was in a hospital, I went to go visit her the first time. And she was fine. She was talking around. Like, oh, I'll be out in a second. You know, I'll be back to work again. She'll be back to work. No problem. You ain't worry. That's just me. I'll be there. Okay. I said, all right. Well, if you need something, let me know. Because she always calls me. I don't care what shift I'm working. If I'm also working that shift, she calls me directly. It could be 3 a.m. I'm not at work. I'm trying to sleep, you know. But that's just how she was. That's the bond we had as far as close relationships. But then when our chief came and told us about that she wasn't doing well, I looked at him kind of funny. I was like, I just talked to her. She's fine. She's getting ready to go home. She just said it. Yeah, about that. And I'm like, what? And he's like, she's not doing good. Huh? I just talked to her 24 hours, but she's fine. I'm going through denial right now, with that. So then when I got a chance to go up there and see her again, and a lot of people there at the hospital, I was just overwhelmed because I'm like, no, this is not happening. And then realized that she spoke about me a lot to people. I'm a little lost by that. People come to me like, you're Goober. I was like, how the heck? Dana, what have you told these people about me? That's our Dana. To the family, Julie and everybody, we're not going to let her legacy just die out either. That's not going to happen. What she did for us in North Chicago is going to carry on. I'm sorry, it's going to happen. We're not going to find nobody else like her, but we're going to keep that legacy going. And like I told Dana at the hospital that the last time I was able to see her, I told her I would never say goodbye. I'm not going to say that. But I told her I'll see her later. Dana, I love you, my sister. Rest easy. Take care. Thank you.
Would you pray with me? God, we are so thankful for Dana. God, thank you for the gift of Dana in our lives. Thank you for all of these qualities and characteristics that you gave her that point to you. And God, I just thank you for how she impacted us, for how she loved us, for how she made a difference. God, we ask for you to fill us with your thoughts and with your ideas about how we can continue the legacy, how we can continue Dana's legacy on and on in our own area. God, we know your heart is for those that do not have a voice, and we ask for you to help us. Give us your thoughts and your ideas. We thank you for your Holy Spirit. We thank you for giving Dana as a gift to us, and we just ask for your comfort to overwhelm us. Holy Spirit, be near. Let us experience you. In Jesus' name, amen. As we end our service, as an honored member, as the North Chicago Police and Fire Department, Dana is being honored with Amazing Grace on the bagpipes and an honor guard. So we're going to have the bagpipes, and then we are going to have, then you're going to walk out through our honor guard. And this will conclude our service after Amazing Grace is over. Thank you so much for being a part of Dana's celebration of life.